Good early afternoon, everyone. T-Speak at 222 with Swing Traders Anonymous. It's 12:41 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the East Coast in the United States of America. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here. And obviously we have some things to talk about. When you guys asked me special requests in my XRP Future Millionaire Partnered page, which if you're not aware of that page, you should go check it out. I do often do those requests on my Swing Traders Anonymous page, which we're on right now. So JD, I know you've been wanting an update on COTI. This is exactly why I told you guys yesterday that we would probably trend down towards the 48-cent line. I know we had a nice pump, but we had to reconsolidate. And if you guys were paying attention, you've seen how we came all the way down. And it did have one final push up. So that is why it was important for me to tell you guys that that was heavy resistance at 5889. Because if you got that final push up after I was talking, you know, that's a 10.5% correction it just had. So I personally think that this has a chance to retop. I think it's got to come down, and it may even have to come down to the W in the pattern. It's going to eventually come down to there. There's no way around this. It's eventually, here, I'm going to put this right in the middle of this. It's eventually going to come down to this 29.99. It has to. That was built on a bad foundation. It's a bullish reversal on the bottom, but it's bearish at the top. And if this is the top of the pattern, it can be very bearish. But remember, we got into discovery here. So after a consolidation, which could very well lead within a crash with Bitcoin, I think this is going to come back up. And at least, even if it came down and did this, JD, I think even if it comes down and has to do this, even if it comes down here, I think it's probably going to have to come retest this area at some point. I don't think it's just going to go right back down. I mean, all these are pumps. They pump and then they dump, and then they pump and then they dump. But this is another example of why when you just sit on XRP, that can cost you a lot of money, because this 1x in the same time that XRP's done nothing. Nothing. So it's just, you have to put your priorities in place. So I think this is a great one to sit on right now. And if you want to try your hand, JD, I would wait until we get down to that 48.52, so 48.5 cents. See if it can hit this this support area, and then it might trade between these zones until it wants to break down. But ultimately, I think we have to come down in here. I really do. Even if it's just to the top right there, and then it can ride it. Most likely, though, we're going to come down farther than that. We're going to have to make a structure to come support this push if we're going to go further. The other thing, though, is to pay attention to is we were on a bull pennant, but the problem is with that is we broke up past. So we broke the flagpole. So that's not a great sign. We didn't want it to break up. Although it can be a fake out. So there's a lot to look at. But JD, I would sit back, wait for it to come down to the balls. You know, you don't want to buy it at the penis. You want to buy it at the balls in the support area. You know, because normally these are with pretty much inflated with Viagra. So once the Viagra runs out, it's going to deflate and it's going to be pointing right back down. So then you're going to be flaccid, and you don't want to be flaccid at 29.9. You want to be buying it at 29.9. So watch this 48.5 line when it comes down, because it's going to. It has to. We talked about it yesterday. So see how it reacts to that support line. As far as I want to do a theta, because theta I love. We've been talking about theta a lot, but I have not done the update on this new drop because it's in the exact same spot, ladies and gentlemen. If I were to do this, it's probably going to be pretty similar to the other drop point. We can show you exactly what I'm talking about. While I'm doing this, guys, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe. Also, turn that bell notification on so you can see all my content when it becomes available. Oh, yeah, because why wouldn't you want to? It's free on all 3 of my stations. If you enjoy what I'm doing and you want to pay it forward, you can always join Tom's Army, but that's on my Future Millionaire page. This page, there's not dick. I mean, you can look in the video description if you want to donate, but that is not required. I'd rather you just sit back, relax, let me earn the support. And honestly, I would really appreciate if you guys did hit that subscribe button if you're watching my content, because we're fastly approaching 700 subscribers. We're at 686. I can't even believe that. I honestly cannot believe the station's already almost to 700 subscribers. We pick up 5 to 10 subscribers daily, every single day. Some days we pick up 50. I think the most we've had on the station is 52 or 62. No, it was more than that. 80 something in one day, but that's only because of my Future Millionaire page in the beginning. So, but what we're looking for, even with theta, guys, you see these, are these firm double bottoms. Because if we could get some volume, some could say we could go back up to 660. I'm not saying it's out of the question, but let us do the fucking work first. Let's break this back to the top side and prove that these were nothing more than fake outs. But what this looks like right now with this lack of volume is we're going to fall through, and this is just going to be a fake bottom. I want to say we could come back up and retest this line up here. I really do. It would make sense to come back up and retest that upper support, which would now be resistance. We've already tested it once, and if we can come back up there a second time, it would almost make sense. So we've got that drawn out, and that's why I like to do that line back up to the support, which would now be resistance, because it would be the retest, which is why I did it on the one before. But I'm not confident it's going to go way up there. We already broke to the downside. That's a terrible sign, and we're not getting a huge push of volume. So let's make this. And guys, you need to do it in the proper time frame, which is usually the daily, but I know how to do this, and I know how to measure the flagpole, so I don't need to pull it out in the daily, but I know exactly what not to do. So this is going to be the next small move. So if you're looking for, hey, where's the point in between $3.83, $4.46 looks to be the logical next move down for theta, followed by 383 after a small consolidation. But this is where you could very well, if you had Bitcoin cooperating, where you fall down here, you shoot way back up here and overall get rejected, or you go from here and hit the bottom of the pennant. That would be logical. To me, I think that's a logical play for theta before it makes the outright drop to $3.83. I think you could be looking at a pump from here. Oh man, I'd be all over. I might be all over this one. You could get a 16.84% pump back up to the bottom of this bear pennant. And then let's say you had a little shot. Yeah, this might be a worthy one to try if it does hold that level. But there's no guarantee it's going to hold 447. But I could certainly see a scenario where it drops down almost 17% just to come back up and retest that old support area. I really could. So this is a watch for theta. We have a swing trade watch on theta because it looks to be playing out absolutely beautifully. Solana is another one. We have a couple pennants that say it's going to drop to $1 or $120. But we have our overall pennant, which is going to make, and that's what I think is going to happen. I think that's what we're looking at with Solana. So if you can get $87 Solana, oh baby, hold on to your diaper, because this would be awfully interesting. But that's after we come down. We've got pennants So what I'm going to do right now, ladies and gentlemen, is I'm going to show you. I'm going to delete everything I had, and you've seen how beautiful that was. So we're going to go into the daily time frame. I mean, fuck, you can see this, guys. I mean, you really can. I can see it. I can see this playing out like this. I really can. And this would be a healthy, healthy. So, all right, let's take this out into... We're only going to do it from right here, guys, where it actually fell off. So let's get into the 4 hour. So we had a big pullback. And we're not going to come here because it came up from here. So we're going to go right here. It did come up. So yeah, we're going to come down here because on the daily, this is exactly where you'd have to go from. So make sure you're lining it up properly. Whoops. So, and then after this, I'll let you guys go. But I just want to let you guys see what some of these ones, you know, that are really performing well are going to do in the short term. So let's pull this up in case it were to ride up, because, you know, I like to do that. So we didn't have great pull-ups here. So we can do this a couple different ways. I'm going to do it on the lower end because this is what I think is happening. So that's what I think. I think it had a fake breakout a couple times, but this is actually the pennant it's trading between. And if we can get through here, we can trade this uptrending support, you know, all the way back up to an area up here, roughly. So something like that. And then let's get the length of the pennant, because we need, after all, we need to see how far we're dropping. So, whoops. Ah, son of a bitch. Got to make sure we keep this accurate so that we know what the fuck's going on. Perfect. Okay. So then we drop this in here. Oh, got to go a little bit lower. And guys, we put it right here because this is the apex. This is where the support resistance meets, and they call that the apex. Which means it's got to make a move somewhere or to ride that uptrending support line or use it as resistance on the bottom side. That's what happens. We have a few examples. So this is the move that it looks like it wants to make out of this. So 93.78. This is the most up to the minute, up to the date projection for Solana. Fucking A, I just ruined it. There we go. I just wanted to move it over because it needs to be over here. There we go. So that's the updated projection for Solana. So $93.78. So pay attention to that. I'll be back shortly, guys, but I got things to do. I'm doing the best I can to keep you updated, up to the minute, up to the date. Make sure to hit that like, subscribe, turn that bell notification on, and share this far and wide. Stay blessed, everybody.